Welcome back, Commanders. This video, we're going to go over all the squad mates from the entire trilogy, kind of what their perks are, and how I like to use them. So, if you're interested in the squad mates, stay tuned, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, Commanders. First, let me say thank you so much for all the views, the subscribers. The channel has seen tremendous growth just in the last week, and I can't thank every one of you enough. It really warms my heart and gets us all excited when we continue to see increased viewership, comments, subscribers. You know, it really makes us feel like this is something that, even though we would do it as a labor of love, that we're rewarded for. So thank you so much. I can't thank you guys enough. So we're going to go over all the squad mates here in Mass Effect. I'm going to start with Mass Effect 1. I'm going to touch on the weapons and abilities that they have, but again, with the Legendary Edition and certain changes being made, mostly, especially to Mass Effect 1, I can't go into too much detail just because we just don't know. I mean, we have an idea of how the combat's going to flow with some of the revamps and everything that they've done, BioWare, but, you know, until we actually play it, we just don't know. So let me start off here. Our first squad mate we're going to talk about is Kaiden. He's actually a squad mate I haven't used that much because, you know, some of the certain choices we have to make. But, you know, reviewing his dossier, per se, from, you know, to take some of the lingo from Mass Effect 2, you know, he's really kind of a Swiss Army knife. And I'm really debating to continue that story arc with him, at least in one of my playthroughs. Maybe not the first one, but I kind of actually want to. But his specialties, again, biotics, tech, and he has first aid, so that's a big deal. You know, especially with combat, you know, depending on what level you play. He's part of the Sentinel class. He has throw, lift, barrier, stasis, which can be unlocked. Again, lift can be unlocked at throw level 7. Stasis can be unlocked at barrier 6. Decryption and electronics, which can be unlocked at decryption 4. Again, the big thing, having medicine, you know, you need that, especially in the playthrough, you know, is ever prevalent in the first playthroughs of Mass Effect, that you needed that. But again, he's more of a Swiss Army knife. I kind of actually am really intrigued to try him out because I haven't used him too much. And I've actually been in favor of our next candidate, which is Ashley Williams. And her specialty being combat, proficient with assault rifles, sniper rifles, pistols, and shotguns. And the big thing with her is the human armor. She can carry up to heavy armor. So she's not very biotic, or zero biotics, I should say. And that's part of the story arc in the first game. Not trying to reveal too much, so I'm not going to go into that. But, you know, part of that is also another reason I thought about switching over. Just, you know, not dealing with some of the comments that she makes in the game. So, but again, she's more of a true combat specialist. Shooting everything down in sight, and can take, you know, not only deal a lot of damage, but take a lot of damage as well. So you need that. And she does have first aid as well, but it looks like Kaiden actually starts with it, so that might be, you know, more intriguing to those that are playing on higher difficulties. Next player, Garrus Vakarian. I mean, he's one of the staples of the entire game. And what can you say about Garrus other than I think we all pretty much love the guy? So I know personally he's one of my favorites. I take him on the majority of my missions throughout the trilogy. So he's a Turian agent with assault rifle, sniper rifle, tactical armor, assault training, decryption, dampening, first aid, and electronics. I mean, he's just a beast. He has a high output, especially in Mass Effect 1. He had the most accuracy, which you know, they kind of dove into the combat system with the you know, the dice play that they really kind of adapted for Mass Effect 1. Of course, that, you know, that evolved over the next couple games, and they actually brought the combat from 3 back down to 1. So it may not be as you know, as critical to the playthrough as he was the first time playing Mass Effect 1. But he's still an amazing character, and I love the guy. So he's going to go on a ton of missions with me. That is for sure. And then next we have Wrex, specialty. I mean, he's a Krogan battle master, and these guys are just tanks. They have a high output and a high damage receival. So he is proficient with assault rifles. He actually has his own shotgun that's particular just to that character, the Krogan shotgun, which you can unlock at assault rifle 5. You know, of course, he carries a standard assault rifle, combat armor, fitness, warp, throw, barrier, stasis. He is just a heavy tank and does a ton of damage. He and Garrus come on a lot of missions with me, and I don't see that changing for this playthrough. So, and then we have Tali Zora Naraya. Man, it's been a while since I played that. I'm used to saying Tali Zora Vas Normandy, so hopefully I pronounced that right. If I didn't, please let me know in the comments. She's a Quarian machinist. Her story is great. I love interacting with her, but she is not one I take on a lot of missions with me, because the whole Quarian lifestyle and how they've been forced to live on their ships. It's just it kind of plays out naturally or organically in the playthrough. So she doesn't deal a lot of damage, and she can't take a lot of damage. She always seems to go down when I'm running her in my squad. But she's proficient with pistols, can unlock shotguns, has basic armor. Really, what you need her for is the tech piece of the game. So electronics. She has decryption, hacking, dampening. So she's a big part of that. The people that love having somebody. Now, I will say, if you take her on a lot of missions, you can rank her up, but I just never felt like I really got a whole lot out of it to make her an average player. So somebody I don't really take a lot on missions with me, but people may differ. So next and last is Liara Tassoni. Starts off as an Asari scientist with throw, lift, warp, singularity, barrier, and a couple else, first aid and electronics. I mean, she is a biotic beast, and she carries through to multiple games. I personally love her story arc. I know a lot of other people do. So leave your comments below. Let me know how you feel about Liara, and if you agree. Let's go to Mass Effect 2. So Mass Effect 2, you get introduced after the whole kind of end of ME1, and you have some new characters. You meet Jacob Taylor very early on. He's a Cerberus operative with pull incendiary ammo. And he can also unlock barrier once you do his loyalty mission. We'll talk more about that later. He's kind of a jack of all trades as well, but more biotic focused as opposed to other type of multi-use players where they might have heavy damage and health. He's okay. Not one of my favorites, but he's not a terrible player. But there's just other options that are very similar, and I like better than necessarily he is. But his story is pretty cool. So. Next, you have Miranda Lawson, another one you get very early. She's biotics, tech, and combat support. She's a Cerberus class officer with submachine guns and heavy pistols. She has Overlord, Warp, Cerberus officer is a specialty. Slam is unlocked once she is loyal. And I don't know if anybody else has played with her a ton, but she's a beast. Especially with the lack of Liara in this game, she kind of replaces Liara for me. She's not quite the biotic that Liara is, but her damage output is high. Her story arc is kind of cool, so I kind of like playing with her a lot. Next, Kasumi Goto. She's a Master Thief with Shadow Strike, Overload, Master Thief, and Flashbang Grenade. Her weapons are submachine guns and heavy pistols. She has Overload immediately, which makes her really useful. Which can deal a lot of high damage to enemies with shields. And her Shadow Strike ability is, if I'm not mistaken, the most single target damage that she can emulate out of all the squad mates. So she's pretty tough. I look forward to rekindling with her. So, and then Zaeed Massini, he's another character with assault rifles, sniper rifles. Both Zaeed and what was her name again? Kasumi. Both of them you get early on in Mass Effect 2, and I'm excited to enjoy the playthrough with him. But again, he's a mercenary veteran with concussive shot, disruptor armor or ammo, mercenary veteran, and Inferno grenade, which is pretty cool. And his story is his story or loyalty mission is really cool. And just a side note, he's the only one that comes with disruptor ammo unless your Shepherd is an infiltrator or soldier and has it unlocked. So again, now we meet Garrus Vakarian again, who the Turian Rebel with concussive shot, Overload, Turian Rebel, and armor piercing ammo. And again, like I said, I mean, I take him all the time. He's a beast. He's the accuracy upgrade that he got from ME1 from the original design of the game, of course, that we talked about earlier. He just it doesn't feel like they ever take it away. He's just a high output damage character, and I love playing with him. So next, new to the series, Grunt. He gets assault rifles and shotguns. He has a unique M300 Claymore Heavy Krogan shotgun, and of course he has a Krogan Vitality, being a berserker. He's not quite as powerful as the other Wrex, but he is he's an awesome character to use. So he has concussive shot, incendiary ammo, Krogan berserker, and fortification, which that is unlocked when Grunt is loyal. Again, he is all the Krogan in this game are beast, and even in Andromeda they're awesome. So I mean, I wish we could play as a Krogan. Maybe one day, we'll see. Next, you have Jack, who has a really interesting story. Goes along with kind of goes against the grain of what you're doing from her story, but I don't want to get too much into it because I think I try to keep it spoiler free. But she is a biotic with shotguns, heavy pistols, and her ability or unique upgrade is Subject Zero Biotic Boost. She has Shockwave, Pull, Subject Zero, and Warp ammo. She's not one I take on a ton of missions with me, but I'm glad when I do because she is, I mean, doesn't hold the same place in my heart as Liara does, but she is, I mean, she's hugely powerful, and anybody that takes her, you know what you're getting. She's amazing. So next up we have Mordin Solus. He's a Solarian scientist that has Incinerate, Cryoblast, and Neural Shock, which is upgraded when he is loyal. He's pretty good. I mean, he's kind of, I guess as far as the combat goes, he's kind of average. He has some cool things that he does. With Neural Shock, it's not really doesn't offer a whole lot, and there's other characters that have higher output and more biotic based. So it's really just a matter of how you want to play. I don't take them on a lot. Really, like him and Tali, they're more of on the ship when I speak with them. I enjoy those conversations more than when I take them out on the field. Next, we have Samara and Morinth, which it's one of the things in the game that you have to choose. So you're looking at the Asari Justicar class. Both have throw and pull. One is an Asari Justicar. The other one is a Ardat Yashi. So basically the big difference for the loyalty is Reeve versus Dominate. Morinth is the only one that is the Ardat Yashi with the Dominate. Samara is more, the Asari Justicar with the Reeve. Both are awesome. Really just depends if you're doing a Paragon or Renegade playthrough, which one you want to use. I always go with Samara because she's amazing. That her specialty with being able to, the biotic barrier she's able to create is just amazing. Next again, Tali Zora of Osnima. She, you unlock her with the tech. She has a tech and shotguns and heavy pistols with a combat drone, the AI hacking, Quarian machinist, and energy drain, which is unlocked when she's loyal. There's a unique loyalty missions that she has, so it's a fun playthrough. Again, same thing. If you invest in her, you can make her pretty solid player. Not one that I usually take the time with because most of the interactions that I have with her on the Normandy make it complete the game, the characters we fall in love with, and that's why we're going over squad mates, because these are the characters that we fall in love with. So next we have Thane. I mean, he's amazing. He's a Drell assassin with throw, warp, and shredder ammo, which is unlocked when he is loyal. He's kind of again doesn't have he's just awesome. I enjoy taking him everywhere I go. I don't play with him a lot because you kind of don't get him in the beginning of the game, and I've already leveled up and put in so many points into other characters. But he's a blast, and his loyalty missions is pretty cool. So, and then finally you get Legion late in the game with assault rifles and sniper rifles. He has the Widow anti-material rifle and the Geth shield strength are as both unique upgrades. He's a Geth infiltrator, AI hacking, combat drone, Geth shield boost. Usually for my sniper, I take Garrus, so I don't take Legion out on a lot with me. But his story arc and everything is just so cool from the loyalty mission, and you learn so much about the depth between them and the Quarian that is just I mean, gosh, these. I think that's why we fall in love with these characters so much, is especially in this game with the the build up to the end. I'm not going to say anything. I think we all know about the mission type, but the build up to the end of it is just, you get to learn so much about the lore that it's just, it started with 1, and then in 2 it just takes it to another level, because you're talking about individual items, and individual struggles and species struggles and races. It's just, oh man, that's why we love this game. That's why I can't wait. And then finally, Mass Effect 3. It's a little bit different from 2 to 3, because the equipment changes you get, or the clothes changes you get, actually have unique appliers to some of the abilities. So I don't know if that's being redacted all the way through to 1, like if they're pulling that through, and if you change the outfit, you have a 25% recharge speed versus a 25% whatever ammo or cooldown. I don't know, and that's why I didn't really go too much into the the abilities themselves. I just kind of kept it surface level about how I feel about the characters, because we just don't know yet. I know BioWare made some changes, so I'm excited to see if that actually pulls through. So if I can change the outfits and change the different cooldown or recharge ability speeds with the different outfits. So we'll start here first with James Vega. You meet him very early in the game. He's your classic arms master with fortification, frag grenade, incendiary ammo, and carnage. He is he's kind of like, if your human version of a Krogan, without the biotics. He's just a tank, and he deals a lot of damage. But if you're doing an all soldier run, and you're playing on like insanity level, he's a good one to take with you, especially at the end. But it's hard because you get him at the end of the series. You get him in the very beginning of the game, but he's a new guy to the series, and you already have these relationships, that and emotionally invested in the other character. So I think he'd have been a good character if he took him all the way back to 1. Unfortunately, they didn't introduce him to 3, so he just doesn't get a lot of love. But he's a tank, and he's voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr. So anybody that loves Summer Catch from like 2001, he's James Vega. So sorry for the weird random Summer Catch reference. I don't know why that was the first one I thought of. But anyways, next up again we have Liara Tassoni. You get her on Mars. Singularity, stasis, warp ammo, and warp. I mean, I've said it once. I've said it, well, this will be the 3rd time. She's amazing. I take her as much as I can because she's a beast. She has the biotics that really come in handy, that take on multiple with with the singularity and the stasis. And she's just, I can't say enough about her. I enjoy playing with her and romancing her. So Garrus Vicarian, again, you get him on the moon. I can't remember the name of the moon now, but he's a Turian rebel, concussive shot, overload, armor piercing ammo, and proximity mine. And that you'd be surprised. I run a lot with, is if I can put Liara and Garrus together, that's usually my main go-to run with with my squad mates, because I just understand how they both act. He's got the long distance, she's got the biotics, and then my character is kind of usually in between, especially the Vanguard. So my character can run up close, do some damage, do some biotic damage, and jet back, and I got coverage with them. So that's usually the run I go with. So leave your comments below. Who are your 2 favorite squad mates? Who do you run with the most, since I just said who I do? And we'll compare notes. Next up, Edie. It's a really cool that you get unshackled AI with her. She is really, she's kind of like Liara. It just depends which one you want to use. I use Liara the most. But you get her as a, she gets Incinerate, Overload, Defensive Matrix, and Decoy. So she's really cool to go with. And then the storyline with her and Joker, not going to give anything away, but you'll see, it's fun. I like it. And Seth Green, we love him. So Javik, he comes as part of the Ashes, or From Ashes DLC. He's got biotics, he's combat. His he's got the assault rifle, heavy rifle. He's got slam, dark channel, lift grenade pool. Really, it's his story is just so, and then all his dialogue through the game, throughout the game. Even just walking in on a conversation with him, Liara, like there's just so much with the Protheans. He's a Prothean, the last one, and really unlocks that lore, since you've been working on that, acquiring Prothean tech for the first 2 games, till you get to this point. It's just, it's great to have that character in there. It kind of feels like he should have been included in the original, but you know, he was a part of the DLC, so that's kind of what I'm gonna leave with that. And you know, next is a choice between the two. You have Ashley, Alliance officer. In Game 3, she has an Inferno grenade, disruptor ammo, concussive shot marksman. We kind of discussed her already, and then of course Kaiden Alenko. You know, Ashley's more of a a power, no biotics human soldier, really good human soldier. Kaiden's the he's got tech combat biotics, has assault rifles, heavy pistols, and it really just depends which one of those that you choose in the beginning you end up with. He comes with breathe, cryoblast, and barrier. Real and overload. I'm really thinking of going with him because I've gone through so many runs with Ashley that I really want to try Kaiden. His Swiss Army ability just really is appealing to me. And then Tali Zora of Normandy, as I referenced earlier, that's usually how I used to referencing her. You know what I mean? I can't talk. She has tech, anti-synthetic, shotguns, heavy pistols, Quarian machinist with energy drain, sabotage, combat drone, and defense drone. Again, she's another one. The stories are great with her on the Normandy or wherever you're in contact in her loyalty mission. You can invest in her and rank her up if you want to. I don't usually spend a lot of time with it just because when I speak with her, on the ship or at the Citadel or wherever, I get, what I really want, speaking with her. So everybody else starts off higher, and by the time you rank them, it feels like you're starting lower just to get her up to where the other players start and not getting ahead. So it's not somebody I really use. And then, of course, a couple of DLCs, you'll get some other players. You'll get Arya Talok. Really just depends, or on the Omega DLC, I'm sorry. You get her. You get Nareen Kandros as part of the Omega DLC. And then, the Citadel DLC, or not Wrex, if he's still, depending on decisions you've made, if he's still available to be used or not. That's how I'll say that. All right, perfect. So let me know again in the comments below, which one is your favorite squad mate and why? What's the squad you run with the most? What's your favorite power or weapon to use with them? I'm really interested to know what all you guys think. Leave it in the comments below. Again, mine, I like to use my Shepherd with Garrus and Liara. That's who I usually run with, and you'll see in my live stream starting Friday morning. Not sure of the time yet, if it's going to be 8 Eastern or 9 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be in the a.m. I literally took the day off to play. So I'm going to hit the ground running with this and at least put in a full day's worth of work to play 8 hours. So if not longer, it really just depends. Either way, though, let me know what you guys think below. Again, I can't thank everyone enough. I have another video coming out within the next 48 hours on the romance options throughout the series. I'm going to try to do as much as I can about it without spoilers, because the game's not, Legendary Edition. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But, hopefully you guys look forward to that. I will bring that in a couple of days. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.